Good.
Has it gone?
Very. I don't want to just say yes, because that's what people are expecting, but yeah, I mean, this is an injury I've had for about 7 years from being an automotive spray painter, repetitive spraying injury, just bleeding over 8 hours a day, and I have been for every possible treatment going, even had a cortisone injection last week. But yeah, that's yeah, okay, that's new to me. But yeah, that's thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Okay, so well, it's the machine that gets the applause. It's not really. I didn't do it. It's the machine that did it.
That does feel a lot freer.
Just round here, and at the moment it's actually feeling so much freer, and instead of it being at a level of about 4, just constant ache, at the moment I've got nothing.
Great.
So
that's the idea.
yeah.
And
So,
how long did that take? 5 minutes?
yeah, about 5 minutes. So very, very impressed. So impressed, in fact, I'm definitely going to be getting myself one.
Brilliant. Thanks very
Okay.
much. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off. So, you said at the beginning it was a pain of about 7, I think?
Yeah.
And now?
It's got about 2 or 3.
Okay, then we need to do another 2 or 3 minutes maybe.
Yeah, but it's actually,
It'll continue to
Yeah.
get, the effect will continue. Why don't you see how that goes?
Yeah.
See in 5-10 minutes or something if it hasn't gone completely. And if it hasn't, then just come back
okay.
and we'll do another.
All right,
Okay.
thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Melanie.
Thank you.
And your pain was 4 out of 10 before, you reckon? And now?
Feels like it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
So, hi, I'm with Mo, and Mo's just gone from a 7 out of 10 pain-wise to
Probably like 1 or 0. Probably 0.
probably 0.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and that was what, 2 minutes? We treated
Yeah,
you?
probably say 2 minutes, yeah.
You had a pain in your shoulder. What out of 10 pain was it before?
7 to 8.
And now?
It's virtually gone.
Virtually gone or gone?
I was pressing before and it was hurting. I'm pressing all over now and it's not hurting.
Although that was probably a 1 now.
So it's gone down from
8.
8 to 1. That's not bad. Ever experienced anything like that before?
Absolutely not. The tension and the pain from there has been there since June 18, and I've not been able to get rid of it. And the range of movement is tremendous. I've also
Another
got a
area?
tennis elbow, a golfer's elbow just there.
All right. Oh, well, let's. Well, what would you say now?
It's taken away. That doesn't hurt anymore.
Good. That's the idea.
That doesn't hurt anymore. I could literally press it and it was really, really painful, probably a 9. It's only a couple of weeks I've done it. That's 0 now.
Good. Thanks very much.
Excellent. Wow. That's so amazing.
You just had a bad toothache. Out of 10, what do you think it was?
Probably only a 3 in pain. It was a dull ache.
And you treated yourself for what? 2 minutes max?
2
I
minutes of
think?
treatment, yeah, now there's no pain.
So completely gone?
Yeah, completely gone.
And it's much easier now. It's gone. I can move it. It's really nice.
Great. Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you.
Been under a lot of pain for at least 2 weeks with a sort of frozen shoulder. I've had massages and stuff, and it was a 7 out of 10 when I arrived here, and it's barely there. I think if I'd have had maybe 2 more minutes, it would be completely gone.
What pain level is it now? Naught? Good.
At the minute, I can't feel it at all.
That's good. That's the result we want. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
I have 2 ribs broken and I can't even breathe properly. I can't even bend down and I can't move from my bed to go to use the toilet. But after I use the machine, then I feel much better. And I just use it for 1 time and second time at work. And now I start to work properly and I can handle to do my job and I can bend. You can see before I can't even go, I can't touch even my knee, but right now I'm glad and I appreciate what you done for me and that's really very good machine, and it's helping. Before I can't even touch my ribs. Now I can't touch. I can't look. I'm good.
Excellent.
I can exercise and move. I can dance and do this.
I've been told it was a ganglion. I suspected it was from mobile phone use because it was associated with quite a lot of puffiness and pain in my hand after holding the device. It was right in the place where I hold my device, things like that. But obviously, medically, they called it a ganglion. I left it at that. But after about a year of this, it started behaving a bit strangely. And I started to panic, and I stopped using my mobile phone in my hand. I started using it on a stick instead. And within 4 days of not using the phone in my hand, the so-called ganglion kind of collapsed a bit. But it collapsed into this really weird, discolored thing. There's a bit of discoloration on there. I'm not sure if you can see it. Now, it's receded massively now because I've been treating it. Within 2 to 4 minute sessions on a moderate setting, not even a high setting. The first session, it was noticeably smaller by an order of 50%. By the time we'd done a second session, it was down another half. By the time I'd used it 4 times, this thing was almost a tenth of its normal size. My dad had read in the book that it could be used for beauty treatments as well and for skin wrinkles. So my missus was sitting at the table, and she immediately goes, "Oh, well, I'll shut up that then." And she had it, and she was just massaging her eye and down the side of her cheek and around her cheek with it. And she used it for a few minutes while we were chatting. And then we continued chatting afterwards. And my father and I were exchanging glances because there was a really noticeable effect on her face around the lines here under her eyes and behind her, beside her nose, and above her eye as well. Wrinkle lines and bag lines that had visibly lifted or cleared or smoothed out to the point that she actually looked like she'd had a mini stroke or something with the other side of her face. And we were kind of saying, "Do you know what? You're going to have to use it on the other side now. You've got to use it. You look too lopsided or something like that." And she was so staggered.
I would say that the pain level, usually in the evening, had got to about 8 out of 10. And after you used that treatment on me, I barely noticed it at all. So the pain had virtually disappeared. I felt like where I had like intense pain, and I can only describe the pain on the same level as if when you've got really bad toothache. It's a really aggravating nerve pain. Now it's just hardly anything there at all.
And how many minutes was the treatment?
I think you did, was it about 3 minutes?
I think about 3 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah. Constant pains, aches, because I've broken both legs. One is now shorter than the other. There's a huge amount of metal in there. Tonight, it probably was at the highest that I normally get. And now I feel that I could almost run after the bear.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
I snapped my Achilles tendon on my left foot, which is the worst foot for driving a car, because especially if you drive around London, you lots of clutch work. And I've had pain with it at, a minimal level most of the time, and agony some of the time when I really use it, and particularly after a long walk. It's terrible. This treatment's made it just disappear. I mean, it feels a little tingly, that's about all, but the pain is quite honestly gone.
And so you were doing it on yourself. How long did you do it for?
I don't know, it must have been about 5 minutes at most, I would have said.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Yeah.
And how long was your treatment?
I think because I had both legs done, I think mine was probably about 6 minutes.
Yeah, that's doing both legs at once. At the same time. Brilliant. And Vicky, could you just tell us your experience?
Okay, it didn't hurt. It was like a warming sensation, and I went from pain out of 10, which was a 7, to a 0 in about 45 seconds, I think.
Yeah, maybe slightly longer, maybe a minute and a half.
Oh, okay.
That's such exaggeration.
I was having so much fun, it just went so quick.
So, have you ever experienced anything like that before?
No, never. No. I didn't even know what it was before now. No,
Right.
It's very cool, yeah. I definitely recommend it.
Good. Thank you very much, Vicky.
No worries.
what happened, what it was like before, out of 10, what the pain was and what it is now.
Right, well, I damaged my back on a bouncy castle when I was old enough to know better, and that was about 30 years ago. And I've had all sorts of chiropractic treatments and all sorts of things, and surgeons who said they could probably fix it, but I wouldn't let them.
Very wise.
Yeah, I mean, that has dramatically reduced the pain that I feel at the moment. But, you know, it's hard to really be sure what's going on there, because it's just something that I've lived with so long that I start sort of feeling things anyway when they're not there. Do you know what I mean? So,
but I think if you could repair, you're young enough, your body should be able to repair. So it may be that even though it's 30 years, I've seen people who've come out of pain in after 30 years and stay out. You just got to do a few things to make sure you don't slip back in again. So
they did all sorts of X-rays and stuff and said that the bone was actually kind of disintegrated, and I saw a picture. It looked like jelly.
Yeah, but you can rebuild bones. They're rebuilt.
I would have thought so too, but they didn't seem to think there was much hope.
Yeah, well, they don't know. So the pain right now, what was it out of 10 then, and what is it now? Move around a bit.
About 6 before, and I mean maybe 1 or 2 now. So
okay,
it's certainly a lot different.
And what happened with your leg the other day?
Yeah, so you did my leg, and that did take the pain away completely at the time. It lasted throughout the next day, and by the evening of the day after, I could start to feel it again. But I'm not sure it's not a slightly different feeling. That there's a throb in there, and now I find in the morning I can kind of feel it, but it feels not painful, but just different.
Right. Well, maybe
like it's kind of doing something inside.
Okay. Well, if we get time, let's do another go on your leg today.
It's gone from being a very aggravating 8 to 0 at the moment.
Okay. Okay. So you just used it on your jaw, and you've had a jaw issue for 30 years.
Temporary mandibular joint issues, where I've had 3 lots of surgical procedures. I've got jaw misalignment, which has put stress on the surrounding tissue and muscle, and the muscle would quite often go into spasm, sending pain down my neck into my shoulder. I say it was something that I've grown to live with, being in pain. I would say that in that case I was probably a 10 out of 10 pain issue, which has now gone away. So, and I can smile.
I had lots of knots in my muscles, and using the machine, it's now all nice and smooth. And although I wasn't aware of physical pain, my body actually feels a lot freer and a lot more relaxed.
Can you say what happened?
Yes, I've had this terrific pain on my shoulder for about a month, and I've tried the machine, and within about 10 seconds and that, the pain has really eased, and I can do this now. I couldn't move it when I got up this morning, and he's done it all the way down to the palm of my hand, and that's relieved the pain as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've got dodgy legs due to having rheumatoid arthritis, and I've had a lot of pain in my legs ever since, for the last 3 years, and the effects of it were miraculous. I had about a 10-minute session on it, and my walking had improved drastically almost straight away afterwards, and the effects of it, the relief that I got from it, lasted for about a couple of weeks, I think.
Out of 10, how is the discomfort now? Is it gone? What's changed?
Can't feel the discomfort.
Can't feel it?
No, all I can feel is the heat from that.
Right. Well, that's pretty impressive.
And I feel looser as well.
Good.
My joints feel looser.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No, my pleasure. Thank you. Good.
How long did that take?
Well, quicker than the 3.5 years of drugs from the doctor.
A week ago you were saying you'd been to the dentist and they'd given you an implant, and so you said it's about 5 out of 10 pain-wise. Do you want to tell me a little bit about how it feels now?
Now it's 0.
0?
And I can move my mouth.
20 seconds.
And that was really sensitive to the touch.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago. Totally gone.
Joanna's had a problem with her back now for how long?
A year.
A year. And so, perhaps you could describe what it was like before and what it's like now. We've only done about less than 1 minute, so we're going to do a bit more. But tell me what's happened so far.
I have cancer in my bones, and I had this time last year I was in hospital in a position in a bed with my back in that shape for about 12 weeks. And when because I had a tumour and I couldn't move, so I had laser treatment that worked in the tumour, and ever since I can't straighten. It's been an effort to get myself into an upright position, and because I used to have very good posture before, I work, but I find I would rather be like this, but I push myself into that position, but I haven't been able to straighten my neck. And since Clive has worked on my back, there's one position that has a bone protruding a bit, that's where he's been working on, and then, as I said, in less than 2 minutes definitely, I'm now a bit straighter. And before I was telling him if I took a drink from a glass, I couldn't get to the bottom of the glass, and now if I was holding a glass, I know I would be able to drain the glass.
Okay, so just tip your head back as if you were.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
You couldn't have done that 1 minute before.
I could only do that much.
Okay.
Now I'm flat.
Right,
And
brilliant.
that's about
Right,
3 seconds.
let's do another couple of minutes. Show me the range of movement you had before.
The range of movement I had before would have been maybe that, and I could still feel tightness here, but now I can lift my arm up and back over my head. It's still pull, but it's so much better.
It has been at me literally for years, and it was really hard and stiff, and now I don't know if you can see, but the muscles are all soft, the pain's gone. It wasn't an agonising pain, but it was there, and now it's not.
And I was in pain prior to that, about 6 or 7, and now it's just maybe 1, very little now, so thanks very much.
I've had a pain in my lower back on my left side for a good few weeks now, and I think it's because I sprained my foot a few months ago and kind of walked on it and didn't heal it properly. So the other day I noticed that when I was overcompensating the way I was walking, I would feel the twinge in my back, and I realised the pain in my back was coming from the way I was moving to compensate for how sore my foot was.
Right.
And just 2 minutes with the machine there, and I actually can't even feel it. Yeah,
good.
It's gone. I haven't been able to. I've had to sleep on my stomach for the last 3 weeks, which I can't stand, because it's the only position where it wasn't really, hurting. Or
If 10 was full-on pain, 0 was nothing, what did it go from?
It really did go from 10 to 0.
10 to 0.